Sherlock Gnomes.
Okay.
From the team that brought you Gnomeo and Juliet, which is Elton John's Rocket Pictures. At the beginning, Sherlock Gnomes is on the trail of the fiendish Moriarty, casually indifferent to the devotions of Watson. Meanwhile, all our old friends from the first movie, Romeo and Juliet, Gnomeo and Juliet. Did you see Gnomeo and Juliet?
Somehow I missed it.
It slipped under your radar.
It must have done, yes.
Okay. Well, they've been boxed up.
What did I miss?
You know Shakespeare?
Yeah.
But with gnomes.
So Romeo and Juliet?
Gnomeo and Juliet.
Gnomeo and Juliet, but essentially that story, but told with gnomes. I might sort of spool back and have a look.
Because I think for you it would be particularly interesting.
Very, very interesting
Productions
indeed.
of Romeo and Juliet and all that. Anyway, so the friends are boxed up and then moved to a new home in London. And when they get there, they get out of the box. All is not to their liking.
What a dump! Where's the new garden?
This is the new garden, Con.
No, I'm going back in the box.
Girls' language.
I guess it's a fixer-upper.
Well, I think that it's the most beautiful garden in the world because you're standing in it.
Oof, that was super cheesy.
Oh, seriously? I practiced that line in the car for about 10 minutes.
It was, awful.
Oh, I bet there's a pretty good view up there.
I'll let you know when I get there first.
Wake up, the sun is shining bright. When you're with me, I feel like I can touch the sky. Just hold my hand and we can fly. When I'm with you, it's like home. When I'm with you, it's like home.
Think of all the adventures we're going to have.
So the adventures they're going to have involve, kidnapping and daring rescue attempts and stuff involving Sherlock Gnomes and London landmarks such as Tower Bridge. Star-studded voice cast, including Emily Blunt, James McAvoy, Ozzy Osbourne, Mary J. Blige, Michael Caine, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Johnny Depp.
You'd have to say that is a good cast.
Yeah. And then, as you could hear from that thing, the sort of helium pop soundtrack going on in the background, and the visuals are shiny digimation. And I found it, this is the best way of saying this, I found it very unengaging. And in a way, that's a compliment because I didn't find it, it didn't offend me or it didn't bother me. It just played out in front of me in a way that I just thought, okay, there's a couple of little gags that I'm kind of interested in. The great animated films will do that thing where they will appeal across the... So if you think about something like Inside Out, if you think about something like Coco, if you think about all the brilliant animations which we've seen recently, these will appeal across the board and they will work for a younger audience, they will work for an older audience, and they will all take something different from the film, but they will all take something from it. And, you and I have talked endlessly about Toy Story 3. These are the kind of highlights of animation. And then way below that, there is a kind of second and third tier of animation, which just will pass the time of day perfectly fine for younger audiences. I'm not entirely sure that they'll fall in love with these characters and find them. But, the very fact that we have another one means that, there's a certain amount of interest in it. My main thing is, there's some action sequences and some eye-catching scenery, and there's a kind of nice riff about Sherlock and Watson's growing friendship. But I did spend a lot of the movie wondering why, Elton John has decided that the future of, the career opportunity lies in animated features about garden gnomes. And I didn't understand it then. And to paraphrase Elton, I'm still not understanding.
That's pretty good, actually.
Thank you.
You'd thought about that.
I had thought about it because there was a lot to think about whilst the movie was playing out. It's just, so as I said, fantastically unengaging, which I don't mean entirely as a criticism because I have been engaged. There are some movies that I have been fantastically engaged with in a way that has just made me cross. I didn't watch it. I just looked at it and thought,